Hello and welcome to Decorate It. My name is Mary and this is Wes, and tonight's episode is episode 40.
40.
40. We got to 40.
40.
We just got back from the ICRBE, otherwise known as the International Custom Rod Building Expo. It's Exposition. Exposition is the long word. We're going to shorten it to Expo because we know how Mary is with words. But we did want to discuss it because it was a lot of fun and we got some new stuff. Biggest thing is just talking about how awesome the expo is and that it should be on everybody's bucket list to be able to get to at least once. We recommend to go every year.
So, recap. We came, we saw, we had fun. All right, that's it. Y'all have a good night.
Night. No, the expo was last Saturday and Sunday, and we got down there Friday. So Friday is vendor setup day.
After chaos.
We had, obviously, you guys seen the videos of the chaos of the shop afterwards, and that it's taken me all week to put it back together and unload the trailer. Literally just got the last things out of the trailer today. On top of that, we got out of here really late on Friday, but it's okay. The kids were home with me all week, so that was part of the problem.
They definitely helped.
They helped. They helped how they could help, but there was definitely some moments of trials and tribulations, as there is with children in general. We left at like 10:30. We got there around like lunchtime. And if you've been to the expo before, we're typically in the big
lower section
of the convention center. And this time we were up one area where the concession stand was attached to it, which that was really cool because you didn't have to leave to go get food or drinks or anything like that. It was right there. And Tom had all these tables set up in the middle so people could sit down and have chats, eat, take a break, that kind of thing.
Yeah, it was really nice having that, actually.
A lot of people were like, thank you for doing that, because there's some people that can't walk around all day. And then obviously, if you want to have a chat with somebody, you don't always want to be standing at the booth or in the aisle or whatever. You just go sit down and learn some stuff, get to know people, that kind of thing. But it was funny because the loading dock is attached to the lower area. And when we get there, there's no cars except for one Suburban blocking the way. Mm-hmm. And we called Aaron from Anglers Resource. Anglers Resource. And we were like, hey, we know you're here already. What do we do? Where are we supposed to unload at? Because we've got a trailer of stuff that we have to unload. It's first time bringing all the foam, which that in itself was a ridiculous idea.
Nightmare.
I had the great idea. We got the rack. The rack that I had is what I was storing it on in the shop, but we were like, let's put wheels on it. We'll just saran wrap it, roll it on the trailer, roll it off. No big deal. It'd be great. It'd be like breaking it down real quick, fast. And we got the wheels on it here, empty, because we took everything off the shelf, and then it doesn't fit the trailer. It's too tall. So we got it on there, and then I was like, I'll just load it. And I wasn't thinking. We loaded it down with all of the foam, and we saran wrapped it to travel because we had so much other stuff. We couldn't just throw all this foam all over the place.
It's amazing what happens when you add 200 pieces at quarter pound a piece.
Oh, it was so heavy, and we ended up having to get...
Oh, no, 400 pieces.
Yeah, we had to get a couple guys from Reggie's crew to help us, so that was a debacle. We had to lean it sideways out of there and basically had to lift it to get it past the edge of the trailer door, and then we could put it on wheels and roll it through, and it was a mess. But we ended up pulling into the convention area to unload, and Tommy Farmer pulled up the same time we did, and he couldn't get his trailer up to the door because that Suburban was blocking him, whoever it was. And he's like, well, I can't even unload. I'm like, Aaron told us that he pulled in, unloaded, and left, and he was like, well, I'm doing that too. And so we were like, yeah, we're going to follow you, because if we're all in there, they can't really fuss at us about it.
Kick us all out.
So we get everything unloaded and get the booth set up. I think we finally got done with it around like 4. Mm-hmm. And this year, instead of bringing as many wrappers, because last year I had 6 with us, and then we had designed to have this long island in the middle where everybody could sit down and wrap. And I swear the booth was smaller than 20 feet because we had measured it quite a few times to make sure there was enough walking space on either side. And we ended up having to angle these tables out in like this V shape, and the booth wasn't very welcoming to come on the inside, so I decided to keep it kind of open, put the 2 wrappers at the back so that people, for one, whoever decided to sit down to wrap, wouldn't feel like everybody was watching them because they've got their backs turned to, and unless somebody what are you doing?
Well, you know.
They're not really going to mess with them. Brought the lathe. That was the other thing, too, bringing the lathe. Now, I've got the rolling toolbox, so it wasn't that big of a deal to have it on that. But we are in a 2-car garage, and there is a drop-down step from outside to coming into the garage. And Wes can do it. I can't lift it, but I couldn't get it over the lip, so Wes basically had to lift it out of there to get it on there. And it wasn't that big of a deal to roll it off of the trailer. You had to just kind of pick it up a little bit to get it past the little door gap, if you will. And got it up there. But I quickly realized that going uphill with a lot of heavy rolling stuff, out of wind very, very fast, very, very quickly. Dragging 2 Pelican cases full of wrappers up the ramp all the way to basically the other side of the
Not to mention it was
showroom.
carpeted.
Oh, yeah, I don't know, carpet. But to the other side of the showroom, I was like, ah. But we get everything set up. The last things to be put in place was the wrappers. And I gave Wes a hard time about it. It wasn't just his job to make sure that this got done, but we got the wrappers there. I had the RBSG2, and I had the we had an Alps that was in one of the cases, and neither one of them had stands.
And we had the cases.
We had no stands.
Rails and heads and chucks and no stands.
Nothing
to
to
be seen.
Nothing to support the actual PVC that they'd be working on, or what I have to use for a demo as well. So it was like, so we went to Mud Hole. We're like, please tell me you've got a backup stand for the G2. And they're like, no, we only brought the one that we have for display. And I'm like,
nope.
So we went to HFF and talked to Joe, and Joe let us borrow one of Jeremy Reed's sets that he 3D prints.
Those are really nice.
Very, very nice. He let us borrow the red and holographic one. Mm-hmm. I was like, whew. We didn't get it dirty. I told him, I said, we're not doing anything like other than just letting it hold.
It's just holding a tube.
I just needed to hold the tube. But those are very, very nice. He had green and purple. He had a turquoise and white one, which that's the one that caught my eye because obviously I like that color, obviously. And then they had the red and holographic one. I don't remember what the other one was. But cool sets. Check them out if you're interested in getting some,
personalized stands.
Thank you, because that word just wasn't coming out. It was going to be personal stands.
You're not wordy.
No, I'm not verbiage. I'm not verbiage. And then once we got all that drama set, I started writing on my board, which having the board there was kind of cool. I don't think there was any other dramas on that day, on Friday.
The broken bulb.
Oh, well, Batson let us borrow the Alps. That was the other thing.
Yeah, they let us borrow an Alp stand.
He let us borrow the Alp stands because Batson was directly behind us, and we had an Angler's Resource across from us, and then Mudhole was to our left. Yeah. And then we had Mike Ward and Carrie Ward beside us with Bat Creek Custom Guides. Does he call it custom guides or rods?
Bat Creek Custom Rods, and the guides that they do
are different name, aren't they?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he's got them under a different brand. But anyways, Bat Creek
Colored Guides.
Is it colored? I don't remember.
Sorry, Mike.
Michael Ward's Colored Guides in his Bat Creek Custom Rods booth. And then his wife, Carrie, came this year with her Red Wolf Laser Works business that she just started. And she had this awesome idea to set up a hat bar where you could pick a hat, and she had certain patches that they had been working on. Mike had asked Southern for some sayings and stuff like that. I had asked them for stuff for decorate it. And what you could do is you could pick your patch. You could pick whatever color you hat, and she'd put it together at the show for you. And so obviously we got a couple for decorate it. And I am almost positive that every vendor got hats from her this weekend.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure too.
And I ended up getting another one that says wrap on mine. But it's addictive. Like, I would go over there and probably spend more money with her. And I was like, I got to stay away from you because I like that hats. But yeah, Fuji got some. She put out some pictures. If you guys don't follow her, you should definitely check it out. It's Red Wolf Laser Works, and that's Carrie Ward. That's Michael Ward's wife, and she had some really cool like key holders that she brought, and she did really good. I was really happy for her because it was her first show, and she was nervous about it. And the hat bar thing was really a good idea. So I'm really happy for them.
And then across from them was Rod Forge.
Rod Forge was across from them.
And then over here was Tommy Farmer and Point Blank. Blanks. Blank rods.
Yeah. And then Ryan White was on the wall on that side.
Yep.
So right around in our little area, it was like, there's all our friends just hanging out, you know. Reggie was all the way across on the other side with his big display. HFF was basically in the middle, I guess.
Across from Batson, basically.
Yeah, and then CTS was beside Batson. Cork for us was over there.
Them.
Was over there near Reggie.
Mm-hmm.
Behind
the old English flash shop was there.
Yep, behind Cork for us. So I mean, there was a bunch, and
along
there was
with that handle company.
Oh, handle company. I didn't get to walk the show.
It was like an ergonomic handle that you can put on blanks.
Oh,
but you have to hold it kind of like a metal detector.
Oh, I think I saw that. Somebody was.
Yeah.
I probably saw it when I was running to the bathroom or something.
Yeah, it was odd to me, but
we got set up. We got everything done. We said hi to everybody and got to our room. And then we had the vendor thing. Bill Falconer always puts together. And Tom always put together a little vendor kind of. It's a decompress session where vendors can actually talk without having to do all the work that we're doing prior and just have a couple drinks, hang out, and chill. And then we went downstairs. We always stay at the embassy when we go. One, because the rooms are bigger. And two, because there's an open bar at night. It's a happy hour. You get 2 free drinks.
2 free drinks per night you're staying.
And then you got breakfast in the morning as well. So to me, it's a better deal. And it's literally connected to the convention center. You don't have to go across the walkway like you do with Marriott. So once we got out of the little vendor thing, we went downstairs and met up with the rest of our crew.
After eating some Timmy's hot chicken.
We had that before we went to the vendor thing. But yeah, we got a snack because it was going to be a while before we had dinner.
If you're ever in Winston-Salem,
Timmy's hot chicken.
Timmy's hot chicken.
We actually got to see somebody. They have a challenge there. What are the wings called?
I don't know.
What's it? It's like what's the hot one? Anyways, it's the hottest one that's on their menu, and you've got 10 minutes to eat.
10 minutes to eat 6 or 8 wings. No drinks.
They take your drink from you.
No sauces. You have to wear gloves during this.
And you have to sign a waiver.
And
And the waiter, it was a young kid. I would say early 20s, right?
It was his second day on the job. You're talking about the waiter.
No, I'm talking about the kid that did the challenge.
The kid might have been 20.
Yeah, early 20s. A group of them came in, and he decided he was going to do the challenge. And, the waiter was giving him the rundown of, once you put the gloves on, you can't touch your face, you can't rub your face, you can't do anything. You cannot touch yourself because I guess it's going to burn your eyeballs out if it does. Can't go to the bathroom. You got to just sit there and eat it. And they started a timer and all this other stuff. But he was all gung-ho about it. He was going to do it. And he got through the first wing, and you can immediately start to see the sweat.
The tears.
Rolling. He got through the second one. Now, he's eating the first 2 pretty fast. He
didn't make it through the second one.
He got through the second one, and he bit it, and that's when you started to see all of the liquids just running. And Wes and I are like, yeah, no thanks.
I'm good. I enjoy food. I don't want it to hurt me.
I don't want it to bite back. And but they have plates for people that have finished it up on the wall. And there's one guy I don't know if it was a guy, I couldn't read the name, but one person had wrote down the time it took him, and he did it in 2 minutes and 40.
One was 1 minute and 45 seconds.
I guess he just was I'm just gonna just knock it down real fast before it really hits the taste buds.
I can't imagine what his bathroom felt after that.
It got to be awful. And then we go downstairs and meet up with the rest of the Southern crew that was there at that point in time. We had Adam. He brought his son. We met up with Tim and his lovely wife, Melissa. And who else was down there? Sean was down there. Reggie and them were down there. Joaquin came down later. This was before we went to dinner. That was after. No, Joaquin had been there all night. Sorry.
He'd been there the whole night.
The Michigan Rod Builders were down there. There's a whole bunch of us, right? The only person that hadn't arrived yet was Jared, because they were still getting in from driving all day. And so I grabbed them. Mike and them were coming with us to eat. Jillian and her family were there this year. They come every year, and they're always welcome to hang out in the booth. So they're extra workers for us, and bring us candy to keep us, sugar on a sugar high all weekend.
Ooh.
Yeah, there's candy.
Where'd those go?
They're over there. We got, they come from Hershey, basically, and he just brings all the candy with him. And so there's always candy wrappers all over the booth.
Reese's and Hershey's and Good Bars. And
where did we go eat? It was called Hand something?
Hungry Palate.
Hand something. We got dinner there, but we were picking on Adam because Adam had already been drinking. and they hand us the cocktail menu. You know, there's always like weird names assigned to drinks, and a lot of the drinks are pretty fruity that were on the cocktail menu, and one of them was called the Cinderella, and I thought it was hilarious. I was like, but I read it and it sounded delicious. It's one of those drinks that you drink it and you don't even realize that you're getting drunk. It's super dangerous. Like, you could tell it was one of those.
Yeah.
And I don't like sugary drinks like that. I get sick off of that stuff. I'd rather just do my Diet Coke and whiskey and call it a day. Don't give me this super sweet stuff. It makes me go, bleh. We told him, you need to get the Cinderella. And he's like, oh, I'm not drinking that. And then he started reading what it was. And he was like, actually, this sounds pretty good. Wes ordered a limoncello. He modified a drink that was off the menu. You got a limoncello.
Which it wasn't as good as I'd had before.
Well, you got yours in Italy. That's a whole big difference between what was available here.
I was hoping it was like close. But it wasn't.
Adam ordered the Cinderella, and he's like, y'all gonna be messing with me all night. And I said, nah, man, like, it's a drink. I don't care what you're drinking. As long as it doesn't have a little umbrella when it comes out to the table, we'll be fine, you know? And it didn't.
And it comes out in a tall glass. It's pink.
He's like, oh, man, y'all gonna take my man card. I was like, no, we're not gonna take your man card. I said, if it makes you feel better, we'll just call it Cinderella for the rest of the night.
It's Cinderella.
It's Cinderella. We can't say the rest of that because we were cursed, but it was funny. And then we get back. Wes and I are going to go to bed, but we got called because Tim
wanted to go to bed.
Well, we were both up till like 2:00 the night before. We were on our way to go to bed, but a bunch of other people that I hadn't seen and said hey to yet were calling us over. But Reggie was also over there too. Anybody who's ever partied with Reggie would drink you under the table. End of story. So every time that he's like, hey, come have drinks, I'm like, no.
I just wanted to go to bed.
But we get over there and we start talking, and
what happened?
I don't know how many I had. I think Wes counted it up the next day. There was like somewhere between 15 to 20.
16 drinks.
And that was after we got back or before?
Yes, after.
After we got back, because apparently Reggie decided to order a round for everybody, and there was always an extra drink, and he would just go, here, Mary, finish it. And I would just gladly accept it because I'm talking and I'm not even thinking twice about it. And let's just say that I woke up on the floor in my room at like 4:30 in the morning, fully dressed, not understanding a single thing, what was going on. I was very confused why I woke up sleeping on the floor, and not even the floor in the bathroom or in the bedroom, the floor in the little kitchen area.
The carpeted floor in the kitchen area.
Wes said last when he left me, I was scrolling on TikTok and he went to bed. And then I woke up at 4:30 and I climbed in the bed because I was like, what the heck? And I got it back in the bed, and then we was back up at like 6:30. No, we didn't get up. So
I woke up randomly around like 2:30, 3 o'clock. Yeah. It was like, she's not in bed.
She couldn't find me.
Where's Mary?
Sleeping on the floor.
Go out in the room. I don't see Mary. Go out in the living area. She's not on the couch. I still don't see Mary.
He panicked. Don't let him play. He panicked.
Peek around the kitchen counter. Oh, there's Mary.
Sleeping
You're
on
safe.
the floor.
Good night.
I woke up like I was taking a little nap. I was laying on my stomach, legs kicked up sideways. I fully dressed, shoes on, all of things. Everything on.
And I wasn't about to wake you up and
but
have to fight a raccoon. Like,
I would have been angry if you did wake me up, but I woke up on the floor. Surprisingly, with no back pain, which I was very...
No back pain. Hungover.
I wasn't hungover. I was like, I had sleepy eye. Like, I felt like I had sand in my eye for the first time. But this is where the trip starts to get ridiculous because, yes, okay, it's ridiculous. Mary woke up on the floor, but... I was drinking. It's fine. I wasn't sick, so it was okay. You know, I was fine the next day. But I always bring, like, my coffee pot with me. I always do. Because I don't rely on the little 1-cup servings that are in the hotel room to get me through the day. And I know that Decal Connections always brings a full pot and has it going all day. But I don't like to constantly be getting coffee. Or I don't ever have the chance to go run and go get it from other people, like, all day long. Because it makes me feel like, oh, yeah, I'm using you. Like, and I know he does it, but it just feels weird to me. So I always just bring my coffee pot, right? But when we went to make the coffee, I didn't pack filters. So it did me no good. And the joke all day was Jason, Jillian's dad, was going to go over to the Decal Connection and snatch a filter for me. But they were running to get coffee for me like almost all day. And no matter how much caffeine I drank, it just was not helping. So I was just like, it's fine. So if you were there Saturday morning, I was hungover, but I wasn't sick, and it was just I was tired. Like I should have gone back to bed.
She was sleepy.
I was sleepy most of the day, but it was okay because when I did my presentation, or I had a first demo at 9:00 in the morning, turning EVA. So I was like, all right, you got to pound.
That was 11.
No, 9 at the demo at the booth.
Oh yeah.
And I was turning one of the grips, and so I was like pounding down a lot of soda and coffee, trying to get because it's dangerous. Like, you don't want to be like half awake when you're working on a machine like that. And everything was good. I turned the grip. I turned the black and white striped one, the zebra one, while we were there. And it was a big crowd around us. But the problem with this weekend was Wes and I didn't get any pictures, hardly at all. We were too busy. So there's no physical evidence other than I have one photo of Jillian with 2 little girls that came up to her. And I'm talking little girls. One of them was like 2, maybe. She was talking like enough to
6.
be 2, and the other one was maybe 6, 7. And they saw Jillian rapping at the booth, and they were like, "Can we?" And Jillian's like, "How do I set them up?" And I said, "Just give them a stick and thread and call it a day. Like, they're too young to really like set up a chevron.
Don't let them do what they want.
Just let them doodle, you know." I said, "I guarantee it. Within 10 minutes, they're going to get bored and they're going to go on." And she's like, "Okay." And so, but I had to leave to go do presentation or a seminar at that point, but that was Sunday when that happened. Anyways, back to Saturday. The demo was fun, and I had Wes build me a plexiglass little shield to keep the EVA from flying off and killing somebody, because I have to wear a face shield when I turn it, and 90% of it kicks back towards me, but that 10%, I swear, I had nightmares the week before of it going and hitting a child in the eye or somebody else, and me getting sued for them being too close or whatever. And I was like, we got to make a plexiglass shield. And he made it for me, and it worked perfectly. It did exactly what it was supposed to do, so that was great. Thank you, Abe. It worked out great. And he's like, Cinderella. But the demo went good. The grip turned out well. It didn't explode or do anything crazy on me, so that's always great. I have one little seam that kind of opened up a little bit, but it was one of those like switch it back together and everything's fine. And then Saturday, my first seminar was at 11, and it was also on EVA. So we got to push my little cart, which is why we brought it, because I wasn't carrying that heavy lathe back and forth all over the place. And so I pushed my little cart in there, destroyed Tom's complete setup, because he's got the table, because most people aren't coming in doing demos.
With a camera and a microphone.
And I'm like, nope, we got to move all this stuff. Tom's like, what do you need? And I'm like, I'm going to be down here. We don't have to worry about the camera, because they can just watch this or get a little bit closer. Don't need to zoom in on anything I'm doing. I got to slide your stuff down just a little bit. And then obviously I cleaned up, because I'm not going to leave a mess of EVA all over the place. But that class went pretty good. I was mic'd up, and it was packed. And by the end of it, there was like 20 people around the outside of the curtain that were peeking through, looking at what I was doing, because I was turning at that point in time, so everybody's interested. So it was pretty fun. I talked about different ways of doing some of the designs, talked about overlays, talked about inlays, talked about gluing up stuff. Hal sat in on it again, so I got to pick on him about the contact cement comment from Mudhole and a bunch of other people. And then John Lentz was in on the seminar. He sat in on it. We talked about it. I brought up, you can break the contact cement, and I said, and you taught me that last year. He's like, yep. John Lentz, I put out a video earlier. His EVA inlay stuff, his designs on his grips is wild. Like, but what was crazy was the lighthouse rod. Well, he just brought it back to show us on Sunday. I didn't realize that was his.
I didn't either. Back
when we first started going to the expo, that was always on a display. There was always a rod display of just random people's rods they'd bring in. It wasn't for the challenge. It was just a display of rods that anybody wanted to put up front. And I remember that lighthouse rod, because there was a lighthouse rod and there was the gun one. What was the gun?
Just the AR.
The AR was the handle, but it was made out of foam, right? It was foam, wasn't it? Or was it actual?
No, it was actual like AR parts used.
And I was like, that is nuts. Obviously, I don't know if the AR would be fishable, but it was.
Why not?
I don't know. I have no idea, because I don't remember it enough to know if it was functional. And I just remember seeing that it was the gun, and I was going, oh my God, that's crazy. Seeing the lighthouse going, oh my God, that's crazy.
Around of it.
Who could do that? And then the rest of the day, busy, talking to people. We get to the end of the day, and we head out. We head out. We got a snack downstairs. We got a few free drinks while we were down there waiting on the gala to start. And then we went down for the Rod Makers Gala, which they had it on freezing mode downstairs in that area. It was so cold.
Everybody was like... The air conditioning was on, and it was 40 degrees outside. Degrees.
It felt like we were in a walk-in fridge. It was bad. But there was a lot of giveaways. We gave away 2 blocks of foam and 2 EVA inlay sheets, and everybody won something that was at our table except for me and Wes. And poor Wes, you've been going for how many years now? Ever since it started.
No, like 17 years now.
17 years, and Wes has never won anything at all at the expo, but everybody at our table won something. And Hal, if you know Hal, congratulations to Hal. He won the Renzetti this year, so that was pretty nuts because he's been having a lot of stuffs going on, and that was a good thing for him, in my opinion. Obviously, that's one of our bucket list wrappers we want to get is the Renzetti without having to pay for it. It's so expensive, but I was very happy for him.
Which hopefully the people that bought Renzetti now hear me when I say this. If you take away that wrapper,
oh man, don't do that.
I swear on my kids, I'm coming to Utah. I'm coming. Don't you dare.
I had my eye on the 4 quad dryer that Batson has because it's got all the, you can literally control it with your phone. And another good friend of ours, Jared, won it this year. And I was really happy about it because his kids, he's got 3 kids, they're all starting to get into rod building. But the youngest little girl hasn't been able to get into his, there's not a spot for her. There's not a spot for her rods to dry. And so now he's got the 4 rods that they can dry, which meant that she went, the little one, started buying all kinds of stuff this weekend. She got rods, she got grips, she got threads. She was going on a spending spree, and they were all loving it because all 3 of those kids were in my booth last year. No, the year before, and learning, which is when their passion ticked up. And then they came to the kids event here, and she's interested in it, but you know, she's also the youngest, so attention span's not always there. But for her to see her 2 years later from where she was, I'm like, yes, that girl's going to be doing some cool stuff. So, but yeah, we were really happy to see that Jared won that, and Hal got the Renzetti, and everybody at our table, Jillian and all parents got everything. So that was cool to see. And then Tim was at our table, and he won a rod blank and a kit. And he was like, y'all take it. And I was like, no. And I gave it to Meg because I was like, we're not going to use that. It's not in our, we're not going to do that. But Meg tried to throw me under the bus because, you know, Tom's asking, who's the oldest rod builder here? And she's sitting beside me, and she grabs my sweatshirt. She starts to pick my arm up. And I was like, I know you didn't. I said a couple other words, but the entire table roars with laughter. We got really loud at that point, and I was like, y'all, simmer down. It's too loud, because Tom looked right at us, and I'm like, it's not us. But, yeah, trying to call me out. I said, you are older than I am. What is your problem? I am not the oldest one here. Well, we get through the gala. Then we go back upstairs, and we go hang out with everybody else. And Butterfinger came to the show. Butterfinger left the show, but not with me. With the owner that has it, and which is actually our good friend Tim. Everybody on Saturday. Did you bring Butterfinger? Is Butterfinger here? I want to see Butterfinger. Where's Butterfinger out? Because I had my rods behind us on this side. So if you're coming up the back side of our booth, you saw the rods, but they weren't on the front. Front side was the kids' rods that they brought.
And everybody. Hey, how's it going?
Where's Butterfinger?
It's over there.
I want to see Butterfinger. Did you bring Butterfinger? And then the conversations with the husbands and the wives that would walk up. This is what killed me, too, because, you know, not all the wives are building. Most of them were just there supporting the husbands, at least the ones I was talking to this weekend. There was quite a few women that were getting into rod building or have been building rods, and they were, you know, getting advice or whatever. But guys would walk up and be like, I watch your videos. Thank you so much for putting them out. And I would speak. I would just be like, oh, thank you. And one of the women turned, you. I was like, what'd I do? Holy crap, I just met you. Hi, what did I do? She's like, I know that voice. You make videos about rod building. And I said, yes, I do. And she's like, she kind of gave me that look like, I don't like you. And I was like, are we good? Like, what's wrong? And she's like, my husband watches you on the phone in the bed whenever he's going to sleep. And I'm like, I'm sorry. He starting to turn really awkward right now. I don't really know what to say to you.
It's getting weird.
It's just getting weird. And I was like, I'm sorry. And he's like, no, he watches it to learn stuff so he can try it the next morning. But then I catch him waking up watching more of your videos. And I'm like, I'm super sorry. I just, I don't pick and choose when he watches them. And she's like, no, I just wanted to make you nervous there for a little bit. I said, well, you got me sweating because I got really concerned that we was about to be in a fight.
Hold on.
Woo! But it was a couple women that pulled that on me this weekend. I recognize that voice. And I'm like, hi, I'm the problem. It's me. You know? And then Tim came down Saturday, middle of the day. I was chatting with a couple people about the Cricut, actually, because they were asking about how the Cricut works. And I had the Cricut with us this year. I was offering to cut inlays that people could take back home and glue them together and put them on their grips if they wanted to. So I had a group around me asking about that. And Tim's chilling in the booth. Wes had the rod. And once I got done with him, I turned around. I saw where he hit it. I grabbed it and I handed it to him. I did not get a reaction video because I wasn't going to put him on the spot because I know kind of how Tim is about some stuff sometimes. But he's like, I'm not going to be all like, and I'm like, I don't need a fake reaction from you. I just want to see your true, like, oh my God, it finally happened. Because the story behind Butterfinger is this is 10 years in the making for him, from us. And he'd asked about it 10 years ago from me. And I was like, dude, I am not there yet. But when I get there, if you can wait patiently, whenever I finally get to that level, I'm happy to go crazy with it. And we finally made it happen for him this year. So it was really cool to finally see that full circle, to be able to give it to him. And he get the rod that he's been wanting for years and patiently waiting for me to be able to do the inlays and stuff like that. So it was really cool. So then we went to drinking again Saturday night, but I definitely didn't drink Saturday night. I had one drink the entire night. But I hung out with Jared and a bunch of them downstairs, Michigan Rod Builders, Tim, had
And we
some
talked
pizza.
about a future build.
Did talk about a future build.
That's going to be fun.
Hopefully. And then Sunday, get up. I had 2 seminars on Sunday. Had another demo at the booth. I was turning Greg's, actually, grip and getting it set before I brought it home to verify the numbers. And then I did cork burning and coloring for a seminar at 11. And then I had another another seminar at 1. Was it 1 or 2?
It was 1.
1.
Because Mike was at 2.
Yeah, that's right. He was the last one of the day. That was on decorative wraps, and I was telling him how to set up multiple axis chevrons and stuff. And it was funny because there was a couple people that were in that class again that had been to the mud hole class and were in Group B, where I had fudged it all to crap. And they were like, "No, we really did understand what you're talking about." I was like, "Good." So, but obviously, towards the end of the day, more people are heading out because they're getting back home, so it starts to slow down a little bit. But even my last seminar at 1 o'clock, which I expected to pretty much be empty, there's still about 30 people there. So I was like, dang, okay, cool, you know. But overall,
makes you feel better that way.
Yeah, you know, when you're not talking to an empty room like we are right now. Hello back there. But it was great, you know. We got to walk around after basically the seminar, start talking to people, see what was going on with everybody. I did get my challenge rod built in 4 days. I did do it. You know what? I didn't even bring it over here. It did not make top 10.
Nope. Didn't even place.
Nope.
I didn't turn one in because I had to end up watching the kids so much.
Yeah, because it's 4 days. Now, we were all given the same blank this year because that's how they do it.
Not given. Had to buy the same
We had to buy
blank.
it, yeah. From Mud Hole, which were cash and blanks, 3-piece. They were matte finish, nothing fancy about them. And we don't have any other, like...
That's it.
There's no
Same
guidelines,
blank.
just
you
same
have
blank.
to use at least 50% of the blank.
So we can add a smaller tip section to it. We can add a bigger butt to it. We can do whatever kind of modifications we want to do to it. I went with just using the straight blank as it was for this year for kind of basically light inshore. Mm-hmm. And this is it. I know you guys can't see it from that far away, but I'll show you a close-up in just a minute. So what I did was I went completely outside of Mary's normal wheelhouse. Most people probably expected me to show up doing EVA. I'm not going to do what you guys expect because it's just the expectation. What was crazy, you guys can see red, black, and
Silver and
white and silver are the main colors on this, right? There was another rod that had cork grips, had the same reel seat. Now, this reel seat I got from Mark Krause like
8 years ago.
8 years ago. And I've never used it. And I thought, I'll use it this year because why not? Somebody else had the same reel seat, same cork. They had little red flakes through the cork. And I thought, that is so weird. You know, like, what are the chances that and I don't know whose rod it was, but what are the chances that you got two almost like similar kind of builds? But I didn't get in top 10, is what it is. I went with the polka trash art style. So that might have been part of the why I didn't get there, because it's a little outside of the box. So main focus on this was the lighthouse imagery. So that was all burned onto it. And then I came back with the red and all this stuff with just the normal art style of the trash polka. And I have fear is what if, faith is even if. And that was kind of the whole message, you know, like I went into this knowing that it was probably not going to be well received because it is kind of outside the box and it is what it is. But it was an artistic approach to a functioning rod. I did not put a wrap on it because the rod bends all the way back to here. And I'll do a video where you can see all the details and stuff on it. But the guide wraps, I just did some little detail stuff on there. There's one more saying I put on there. It says dare to. But top 10 eluded me again this year. So it is what it is. I'm going to sell that rod. I'll put it up for sale soon. I've got
a cool custom for not as much money as we usually charge.
My other challenge rod, the dragon one, needs to be sold too. Because I'm not going to use that one, I don't think. I might. I don't go fishing enough for it to warrant me to have that one.
That's a very specialized rod.
Yeah, I highly one of a kind person would have that one. But the expo itself was awesome. Had a lot of fun. And, you know, it's one of those things where you get to go in there. You can buy the blanks. And a lot of places are discounted. We had discounted prices on all our stuff, too.
You could have got cheap foam.
We sold a pretty good bit of foam. I was pleasantly surprised at the amount of foam and EVA inlay sheets that we sold. Mm-hmm. I was happy with it. So
sold more sheets than foam.
Yes, we did. We did sell more sheets than foam. So that was fun. I expected more foam than sheets because people are kind of wary of the sheets. But when I was explaining what you could do with it, they were like, "Oh," and I'm like, "Yeah, there's multiple. You know, they don't have to be just for inlays. You can use them for trim."
And for anybody that ties flies and wants something more buoyant, the sheets work wonderfully.
Yep.
We even sold some to fly tires while we were there.
Which I was like, sweet. But we have earned the name of the booth to come. Normally, I have all the things that I always need and then some, because we had a lady walk up to us and ask us if we could cut a blank for her. And I was like, we have the Dremel, actually, because it's stored in the toolbox that the lathe sits on. But we didn't have the cutting desk. So.
But she did it anyways.
Yeah, she figured out how to do it.
She took the grinding stone.
She cut it.
Went around it.
So she could take it back, because she was from Germany.
Somewhere in the EU.
She had to travel back overseas, so I had to fit in a certain length. But yeah, the expo was a lot of fun. And we obviously have a lot of fun as vendors because I always make it a point to get together with any of the people that we're around. And it gets a little hectic because we have to do the vendors things. We have to go to the gala, and we have to do this, and we have to do this. And so there's only little itty-bitty windows that we can fit stuff into other than when we go to the bar and then stay
2
up.
a.m. adventures.
Stay up entirely way too late, but it's a lot of fun. And the seminars are great. You learn a lot, and then you get to meet actual face-to-face people with the companies. You get educated on the stuff. Our booth, obviously, is a very working, open, educational booth with demonstrations all the time. And there's resource right across from us. So Mike Rome was rapping and doing all kinds of stuff all weekend as well. And then you had Carrie to her left doing hats and literally making hats for people all weekend long. And so you got to go home with a custom hat after the show. Like, I mean, it's a really cool experience. Mudhole's got all their stuff. So, and we also did giveaways in the booth too. Mm-hmm. We had 3 giveaways. 4 giveaways. So 2 on Saturday. Actually, we did 3 on Saturday on accident, and then one on Sunday. We did 3 on Saturday because I accidentally gave one to Alice. Remember? Because we had them scheduled. People
that was Sunday.
No, that was Saturday. It was only one on Sunday because that was when the oh dang, I forgot her name. But she had just bought one for her boyfriend, husband. I don't know if they were dating or if they were married.
Yeah,
but
because that was the 4:00.
Yeah. No, she was on Sunday. Saturday, we gave away, the first thing was the mandrel kit, because it was right after the demo, or seminar. Then I accidentally gave Alice the cork jigs 4 minutes ahead because she showed up and she was the only one there, but then more people came, and then I ended up giving away the blanket kit too. And then Sunday was the all-in-one wrapper thing.
Yes. Okay.
I was like, I remember because I accidentally gave
you know.
Alice. I gave Alice the 3 minutes early, and then people showed up. I was like, oh crap, because I thought it was 4, and it wasn't 4.
I'm with you now on it.
I do remember most of that, just not the Friday night after. I think it was 11 when my brain shut off. Don't remember anything after that. So we want to go ahead and chit chat about our product of the night, dun dun dun, which is the cork jigs.
Cork jigs.
So I really like these, not just for cork. They're also useful for cylindrical EVA as well. So you can cut all these different angles and things of that nature if you're not quite to having a bandsaw.
Or if you've even got blocks, you can cut them down to that size and then slice them the same way.
Mm-hmm. So you can use these for multiple different things, but they are definitely something to look into getting. We just bought a set finally and have them in-house, so I'm actually going to be playing around with making actual cork checkerboards eventually at some point this time. And the second one, you can slice them into thinner rings so you can do really thin trims as well. So really cool set to kind of get a hold of. You can buy them as a kit.
Like all the kit and caboodle?
Or you can buy them separately. I will say that the little saw that comes with them, it's a jeweler saw. That's how I know it. But I don't know. It's like a itty bitty little hacksaw, but it's a fine tooth saw. And that cuts EVA inlays like a dream. My Phoenix build that still needs her guides wrapped on her from 2 years ago. Everything on her was cut with the jeweler saw. I have a jeweler saw and I have the tinier ones for the cork too. The jeweler saw is just a little bit longer. And the Crash Bandicoot, that entire grip was cut with the jeweler saw. So the saw that comes with it, you can use it for multiple things too. I love a good tool that's a multi-purpose tool. Jared, we were just talking about you and how you won the 4-quad dryer, or the quad dryer, 4-quad, that's repetitive, the quad dryer.
I'm pretty sure everybody in your family racked up because Dom got the mandrel kit.
Well, he also got the backup Scooby-Doo grips too.
Yeah, I'm
from John.
about that one.
So John Lentz, we had a conversation with John on Sunday, and he brought in the Blackfish rod with the lighthouse and was like, "You're free to take videos and pictures of it. Like I like to show the stuff off." And I was like, "Did you not do a Star Wars thing last year?" And he's like, "Yes, I did. R2D2, right?"
There you go.
Yeah,
Good job.
I called it 3CPO, and I was like, "That's not right. You didn't do that one." But R2D2.
3CPO?
Or CP. What is his name?
C3PO.
Thank you. I've watched Star Wars, but I'm not a massive fanatic.
Y'all see what I have to deal with?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
have to deal with you.
Yeah.
Anyways, but he was talking to me about his, he got in top 10 for his Scooby-Doo grips, and I don't even know if we should be saying that because I don't know if anybody's supposed to know, but whatever. Well, they announced it. So he had a backup set of the grips, and he gave them to Dom, and Dom was like, "Hey, I've got the grips," because I was talking to him about John. I was like, "Oh my God, look at you!" So it's really cool. I like how everybody at the show just gives back to the kids always. They, as soon as they see a kid that's interested in something, they're immediately just handing stuff over to them, and it's great because everybody is understanding that they are the next generation. If we don't get them hooked now, we might not have a craft in 20 years. So
On that note, Mr. Andy Renzetti, I'm still the maturity level of a 13-year-old if you'd like to gift me a Renzetti.
I did a novelty flag grip with EVA and cork. See, I want to mess around with mixing materials this year. That's my goal. I want to play around with the acrylic to cork, and I want to be able to do that. But I need a customer to do it because
It's the only time you get anything done.
it's the only time I can ever try anything because I've got 13 rods I got to build before middle of April. Like, So this is the way. See, I know more about the Mandalorian than I do about Star Wars.
I made you sit down and watch it.
I like the Mandalorian though. I can hear the music. Like, it's a very, very bad impression of it, but I can hear the music in my head when he's walking with his. Anyways, we are also going to do a giveaway. You're going to be able to choose a guide kit out of the mini that they have. a set of guide kit, and also a handle kit. It could be any of the ones that are listed under both of those search engines on their website.
And to get this, you ain't gonna be able to look it up.
No, you're gonna have to either guess or no. I was gonna give you a hint earlier in the show, but I forgot to give you a hint.
What year
Sorry.
was the first year that we showed up to the Expo as vendors?
And it would have been under the name The Southern Rod Builders, because we just started going as Decorated for the last 2 years. I've got to get some stuff recorded on that thing, and obviously buy another. What is that thing called?
It's called a USB hub, and I've already got you one in the Amazon cart.
We almost didn't do the show tonight.
We almost had to cancel
For three reasons. One, when we were cleaning up, Mary accidentally threw away the power cord to our camera. Oops. And we're just going to keep talking until you guys come up with the right number. Somebody was really close. 2029. Jared, what are you talking about? It's not even 2029 yet.
I can't keep up anymore. My comments went away.
So we had to go digging through the trash. Thank God we hadn't taken it out.
Oh my God.
To find it. Finally found the power cord to the camera, so that was fine. And then my USB hub, the power part of it that you plug it into, completely came apart from the actual circuit.
I've got Carlos as the
Carlos, everybody stop. Carlos is the winner. Our first year was 2016. Yay!
Congratulations, Carlos.
Congratulations. Carlos, you need to go on Mudhole's website, type in guide kits, pick one of them, and then also type in handle kits and pick one of them, and then let me know which one you want, which of those that you're getting, and need your name and address. And you can send it to me either in email at thedecorativestudio@gmail.com, or you can just send me a message on Facebook.
But speaking of...
I have an announcement.
What?
You want this?
Yes.
Yes. You want to say it?
No.
I think we were both pointing at it because I wrote it down on the table.
I'm not pointing at it. I'm just pointing at the table. This is it.
This. Guess what, guys? For watching the show, I have finally been able to give you guys a discount code. If you go on Mudhole's website, for those of you that did not get to win a kit tonight or a handle kit, and you really, really, really want one, you can go on to Mudhole and use the code DECORATEIT10, literally decorate it with 10 attached to it.
The number 10.
That will save you 10% off of anything that is MHX, American Tackle, the Gaho stuff, CRB, or Pro products. It can't be combined with other discounts, but you can at least save some money using that code. So, thank you. Which that goes right into, dun dun dun. Thank you to Foundation Outdoor Group and Mudhole for allowing us to have a discount code to be able to give back to the community, because thank you for watching. Don't forget, it's called Decorate It 10, and you get a little bit of a discount. And as appreciation, thank you. So, the other thing I want to say is, obviously, thank you to Foundation Outdoor Group and Mudhole for allowing us to be a brand ambassador again this year. It's been amazing. And there's going to be quite a few shorts coming up in the future at some point in time, because Mary went through 4 hours of videotaping while I was at Mudhole earlier in the year. So, there is one you guys are going to laugh your butt off of, because Mary went full-blown social media influencer with it and pulled a little, I'm going to call the Jake card out with some of the enthusiasm that he has.
More power. More passion.
More power. But there is one, I don't remember exactly how it started, but it was like, if you, like, I mean, it's so over the top for me even that it's going to be hilarious. And I hope they keep it. I hope it doesn't just kind of get tossed to the side, because I was laughing so hard after the takes. Wes was in the room when I was doing them.
It was bad.
Oh, man. Also, another thing we want to announce, which Mudhole is coming with us. We're going down to the Mastering Rod Building Seminar. We can't really call it Foley because it's not going to be in Foley. It's in Orange Beach this time.
Same difference.
But it is the Foley event. It is April 11th through 13th. And to my surprise, I'm teaching advanced marbling.
Not me. I get to sit back and watch it.
I had to giggle. I had a panic attack because Wes showed it to me, and I was like, "What is advanced marbling? What does that mean? What? You know?" I was like, "When do I do marbling?" And so I had to message Bill, and I said, "What were you thinking of that whenever you said that?" Because I'm thinking marbling on the rod initially, because it was just a panic attack. Mary doesn't marble. Like, what the heck? We're talking about all the things I do: flat, reapply, all that kind of stuff. And I was like, "Oh,
Putting
okay,
them in wraps and
okay,
trims.
cool.
And
I got it. Advanced. I got it." So I'm actually going to be practicing another technique to also be taught. I'm going to teach it.
It's going to be taught.
It's going to be taught at the teach it. Hello, Jar Jar Binks. But I'm going to teach it at the seminar in Foley, mastering rod building class. But we're going down there with Mudhole as a joint group, and we'll be together. And so I'll have the foam, and they'll have the stuff they're bringing. I got to make sure they're bringing jigs, though.
They better bring jigs.
They better be bringing jigs, because I was talking to Jigs Up.
Because in case y'all didn't know, we're not doing that no more. We're done with jigs. Okay. I'm sorry, but y'all aren't going to pay for us to be profitable on jigs.
I'm not going to jack the price up any more than it needs. I mean, it's just not. And Mudhole's making an amazing tool with the adjustments they made on it. So to completely 100% transparent, I am promoting that. I'm promoting that only. And I have a few left in-house that can be assembled if somebody orders one. But I am pushing you guys to go to Mudhole.
Use that discount code and you can get it cheaper.
Yes, use the discount code. You can get 10% off the butt wrap alignment tool. Win-win for everybody, right? You guys get a discount and you get a cool tool, which you have a see-through. Like, phenomenal.
But
Thank you.
We're done with jigs.
But yes, we just want to thank our sponsors because we love them. End of story. They were great people to work with.
Love you, Fluffy.
Yeah, love you, Fluffy. Love you, Bob and Kami, Todd, Vivian. The list goes on and on and on. The list goes on and on and on. Also, don't forget, we got merchandise for our shirts. Like, you can get sweatshirts, t-shirts, all kinds of stuff. And
I designed some new windbreakers and hats. And
Wes has got an apron on there. It has a funny saying.
Ooh, y'all should definitely check that apron out.
It's in the website.
Actually, go look now and come back and tell me what you think. It's thedecorativestudio.com.
He was like, "Do you approve of this?" And I was like,
I don't
"What
care
does
if you
it
buy
say?"
it. Just go look at it.
He's like, "What is it?" I said, "What does it say?" He's like, "It's got a funny on it." And I was like, and I was busy. He was making these while I was trying to work on Butterfinger or something, and he finally showed it to me when he got done, and I was like, "Oh my Lord, yeah, I would totally actually wear that because that's pretty funny." But we're not gonna tell you. We're gonna make you go look at it. But the whole reason why we wanted to talk about the expo is, one, it's a fun time, obviously, but two, it's a great place to learn stuff. Just like the mastering rod building seminars is going to be amazing. Mm-hmm. That one costs $75 to get into, and he is including, was it a carbon fiber?
You get a carbon fiber
grip with it, right?
Yeah.
He provides the food. I think it's carbon fiber. If you look
Food,
up the
drinks,
mastering rod building page group. Is it a group that he has? No, he has a page. Or is it a group?
Both.
He's got both. And the info is posted. It's posted everywhere on Facebook right now. And I got tagged in it too, so it should be on my profile as well. I'm going to be teaching advanced marbling, which that's going to be fun. I am going to teach myself how to do something. I have an idea for something that I want to try, and hopefully I have time between building these 13 rods to be able to practice on it and be able to teach you guys how to do it. And the other one is EVA. So I'll be doing EVA again. But we're going to be doing the seminars because we're at a hotel this year, kind of in like a theater where there's a bunch of stages. So you're on a stage, the presenter's on the stage, and everybody's in the seats going up. And it's going to be really different.
It's a true auditorium with two big projector screens that can zoom in on what she's doing.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not going to be able to I don't think I can bring the lathe.
I know for a fact you're not bringing the lathe because we're not taking a damn trailer.
No, I know that. Well, we would have to carry the lathe, but I don't think I can because there's not going to be anywhere that I could put it that'd be stable enough.
You go turn custom EVA grips on that RBS G2. You're going to show people how to do it on that.
There we go. Yeah, we can put in the work on that, buddy.
We're not taking the wood lathe down there.
I'll have to cut the corners off before I put it on there. Guys, I don't want to burn my motor up trying to turn everything on it.
Just tell them to bring it back up in case.
No, that's my wrapper. Any of the places that you can get to, whether it's Expo or the gatherings or any event that somebody is teaching something, it's great information. Any event that you can get to and learn from and do experience and hands-on advice, even if you may be seeing some of the same information being presented, maybe it's by a different presenter or it might be like me, but it kind of sucked for anybody that was at Mudhole and at the Expo because they were supposed to be months apart, but we ended up 3 weeks apart, and it was almost the same kind of material, but not quite, because it doesn't matter how many times I explain the same subject, everybody's going to get a different kind of version of it, but you're going to learn something the entire time. Anyways, we're going to wrap it up because today has been a day and a day and a day. And like I said, we almost had to cancel because we threw away the cord while we were cleaning up and
crushed the USB
port and almost couldn't get the power connected to it. The only way it is working currently is I've clamped it to itself and the entire inside is exposed because Wes popped it apart because it literally broke the power. What is that called?
The USB port to come from the USB hub into the computer. The actual port itself snapped off of the circuit board. So right now it's not soldered on.
No,
it's just contact point touching it to keep it working.
And I had to clamp it in place because like every time that it would connect, it'd go doop. I can hear when power comes on. So I was like, all right, I'm not chancing this thing coming loose during the show. So it is clamped on it in place.
And another one in the Amazon cart to replace it.
So
it's been a day.
It's been a day. It has been a day. And I'm not going to go into what happened earlier today, but it's fine. But yes, thanks for hanging out with us. And don't forget to use that discount code so that you can get 10% off of your supplies. You can use it anytime that you would like to please. It does not expire at any point in time. Just make sure you save yourself some money on MHX products, American Tackle, Gaho, Pro products, and CRB products as well.
Which
most of their in-house
good
stuff.
reason to try the Gahos.
The Gaho real
at their
seats.
price point.
Yeah. Oh God, it'd be really cheap with 10% off the Gahos. We've got
it makes it the cheapest compressed carbon seat on the market completely.
Yeah, with the discount code, and we've got what 4, 5. I still need to build with. We gave one of them away at Christmas to the Southern Rod Builders. We gave it to Mike actually. He won it during the Secret Santa thing. Oh, and the last thing I want to announce is there will be a redo of the actual giveaway for the Decorative Studio reaching 50,000 followers because nobody has claimed their prize. And
it's been over a week.
It's been 3 weeks. And on top of that original drawing, only 6,000 names got loaded into the actual thing. And Wes pointed it out to me. I went back and watched it because I really believed that he was lying to me, and he wasn't. It wasn't even quite 6,000. It was 5,000 and some change.
She never believes me.
Don't start with me. And so what I'm going to have to do is come up with a better way for people that are actively watching the business page to be able to enter into it. And then
I think you need to do a post where they have to comment, like, and share it.
Share what?
The post.
Okay.
To be entered.
How am I going to keep up with that?
Because they'll have to comment.
How am I going to keep up with them liking and sharing, though?
Well, you go back in and make sure. You can see all that. I'll help you. Don't worry.
No, I was thinking something a little bit more simple.
Comment on this post to be entered?
No. Well, yeah, or pick a number, and this is your number. You know, like, hey, I'm going to be 14. And
comment, and we'll put a number.
I don't know.
It's super simple. We'll
figure out an easy way to do it and I've also got to do it for the subscribers as well on my business page because they have their separate giveaway from everybody on the actual business page having it too. So anyways, we're going to wrap it up because I've got editing to do tonight and make sure I can get this out on time because I'm also trying to get the middle of the spider wrap. That one's almost finished editing, and then St. John's is in play as well. I've got quite a few videos on backlog. Plus the 13 rods I had to finish. And then I've got 6 or 7 grip sets I've got to knock out in the next week or two. Which I'm very excited about one. Because it's Beetlejuice. And I'll show you pictures of it tomorrow. But it's going to be cool.
And the 80 to 130 rods.
Yeah, that's part of the 13. I do have a stand-up set that's coming. So you guys are actually going to see a set of rods that's not over the top.
Very, very not over the top.
Very normal, basic boat rods for a guy that we built when we were Palmetto Rod and Reel.
Clean, classic, and simple.
Mm-hmm. Exactly how you wanted it. Using Batson products and Alps.
Black and silver.
Black and silver. Open chevrons. So yeah, like back to basics on that one. I just have to copy it 4 times. That's the part that sucks for me. I don't like doing dupes. I can't stand it. That's actually the boat set that broke me. That I was like, I don't ever want to do this again. And he came back and was like, I need another 4 rods. And I was like, oh, I don't want to. But I will. Anyways, thanks for hanging out with us. And I hope you guys have a great night. Don't forget to use your discount code so you can save you some money. And also, don't forget to continue to keep checking about the giveaway rules. We'll come up with that by Tuesday. We'll give us a few days to figure out what we're going to do. And
I know what she needs to do. But
Wednesday, if you're in the Southern Rod Builders Facebook group, will be the live video that I have to catch up from not doing in February. That was creepy as hell. I just watched that thing flip. It was one of the Suka 2 rail seats that fell behind it.
What the hell?
He went... It's what caught my eye, and I was like, it was so weird. The weight of it must have shifted.
Where'd it go?
It went behind it. It fell on the floor in the neoprene sock. Yeah, it literally flipped over the shelf. It was so weird. Anyways, part 2 visual wrap will be done Wednesday, so that means that we'll be doing patterns, how to make patterns, and then that video will come out soon. And then I actually have to double up and do another one for you guys on March on something else. So 2 patterns coming, or 2 live videos coming for Southern Rod Builders. Y'all have a great day. Bye.
Toodles.
Toodles. Toodles.